Hello everyone, and welcome. My name is Maria Neizvestnaya. I am leadership and executive coach. In my programs, I help heart-centered and compassionate leaders from all over the world to gain confidence, increase their influence, and become fully empowered. I work with entrepreneurs and executives, and today I have a very special guest, Christina Sayer, who is a recent graduate of my transformational leadership program, and she is going to share her beautiful journey with us. And thank you so much for doing that, Christina. Welcome, and please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for being here today, and I thank you for coaching me through my transition with this program. I'm very happy to be here, so thank you. My name is Christina Sayer, and I live in a small farming town in Canada. And my job is in the culinary career. I started in 1994 at a retirement home, and I'm still affiliated with them. I love what I do. I loved it. I found certain ways of giving back to the residents, and what I didn't know was that I was an empath. And that's the reason why I loved doing what I was doing, was because it felt good, and it was just where I needed to be at that time. And I found so many different ways of giving back to the residents. And yeah, and I said I was an empath, but I didn't know it at that time. And I met my husband, and he introduced things to me. He became my best friend. His name was Mark, and he became my husband. It was where I started with him, and we had 2 children together, and we bought a house. And then one day I got a phone call that he was unresponsive at work. And later I found he had a heart attack, and he passed away at 48 going to work. And I was stuck. I was stuck in a crossroads. I just thought, wow, that just happened, right? So I was 45 with 2 kids, 9 and 12, and I knew I could do victim mode. I could go into victim mode and no one would blame me. It was just so sudden. But that wasn't who I am. It wasn't resonating with me. So I could also choose to go into survival mode. Yeah, survival mode on autopilot. I knew I was on autopilot. I knew I was just gravitating through the world, not being present, not paying attention to anything. And I knew that wasn't what I wanted. So I did what everybody does. I Googled it. I just kept looking and looking and looking for things, and I found you. And that's what took me and brought me to your course. Was I knew I didn't want to be on autopilot anymore. I needed to make some changes.
And Christina, I just want to really acknowledge and thank you for being so vulnerable. And I know that it's a recent loss, and obviously a very significant one. And so just thank you for opening your heart and sharing openly that you were at a really challenging, yes, at a really challenging situation in a really huge life transition at the moment where you decided to start, and you had this courage and this commitment to actually go through the process that you were going through your loss, and at the same time find that space for that transformation and for beginning anew at the same time. And I'm just amazed how you were able to hold both of these spaces at the same time.
I had help, because during that time period after losing Mark, I realized I was an empath and a light worker, and I became a coach on my own. So once I became a coach, I realized that it wasn't enough. I'm supposed to be helping people as a coach, but I was still empty inside. There was still not that connection of mindful presence and to be here. What do I want? What questions I needed to ask myself. And so even though I was a coach, it still didn't feel like enough. And that's the reason why I gravitated towards your program, because it was centered around empaths and it spoke to me in a way that my coaching course didn't, that I already did.
Yes.
So
And so when we met, you already, I think you graduated already your coaching program, right? So you were just also beginning entering in a new profession and starting your coaching journey as a coach at the time. So there were so many transitions and so many really unfolding and beautiful moments. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So when you think back, and it was just, I can't imagine, it was literally 6.5 months back, I think, right, when we first met. So and now it seems it's been such a long time, although it's just half a year. So what were the key discoveries? What happened during this time while you were in the program? What are some of the most important milestones that you could share with us?
But like after my husband passed away, I I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to get off of work because I have multiple sclerosis. So I was able to take a leave from work because it was during the COVID shutdown time. So it allowed me time to look inside, to look internally and ask personal questions and do some healing and some growth. And when I started the program, I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew something told me this is what you need to do. So try it out, see how it feels. And I noticed I had a very low self regard of myself. And once the program started on, I started to realize that I didn't need, I needed to show myself more self love. And that was a huge stepping stone. But by far, the game changer of this course entirely was when you taught me how to slow down in working, slow down in life. It was something that I already knew, but I had to reteach myself how to do it because whatever I was doing was not slow. I think I was programmed as a child to like, the show must go on, I have to keep pushing through, and the more you do, the better you'll look and the better the just. And once I was able to be mindful in some of the mindful exercises, I was able to kind of catch my breath and start taking a look around and asking better questions. It really helped me out.
Yeah. What were some of the questions?
Well, I asked myself what I really wanted
Yes.
because for so long I was following the leader. Now I had no leader, right? So I had to become the leader. So I had to be the one that was trekking, making the marks in the snow. I had
Mm,
to like go on my own path. I had to start asking what I liked, what's important to me, what do I need? And so when I started doing that, it just brought me to another place of healing and another place of my journey that each step was just one step closer.
mhm. And let me know if you're not very comfortable sharing that. Um, it's you mentioned that you have multiple sclerosis, right?
Yeah,
And I just also know in my experience, I also have a neuromuscular genetic condition that it sometimes can be really challenging to be in that always go 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 mode, especially when we're starting a new business, starting a new path in the career, when we're in the transition period, right? It's there are a lot of different competing demands,
I have.
including the demands on our body, right? So for people who are um, also working through their own um, limitations sometimes which can be perceived as limitations in their body, or some adjusting to maybe some new reality, right? What in terms of how they can cope better? So what would you say, what helped you to find this balance and to be able to accomplish so much in such a little time, and at the same time take good care of yourself and be really respectful to what your body needs in the moment?
I guess for the most part, I was able to take perceived negative things and turn them into more possibilities, more positive outlooks of things. Is that what was happening for me rather than to me, and I wasn't going to be a victim because that wasn't who I was. I wasn't going to resort to that. I was going to definitely not be on autopilot either. You know, I was going to get through it. I was going to find ways of getting the results. It may take me a lot longer. It may take me a different way that people look at you and go, why is she doing it that way? But I still was able to stay true to myself and be slower than perhaps maybe everybody else. But I didn't look at it as that was a bad thing. I looked at it as a good thing. And I was able to take almost every situation I was in and turn it into something positive and productive. And I may not be done first, and I may not be done perfect. That was really important for me in my journey, is to realize that it doesn't have to be perfect. You're human. You're allowed to not do it right every time, or that time, or the next time. It's okay. I forgave myself, and that was another huge stepping stone, was that it's okay that you overate. It's okay that you drank too much. It's okay that you yelled that day. I knew these things, and I forgave myself for them, and I pushed through, and I went through, I should say, with ease. That it wasn't something that I needed to push through. It was something that I needed to walk through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what, as you walk through that, right? So how do you know that you are entering now a new phase? You are in a way on the other side of your previous phase of life. So what are some of the results? What are some of the things that you started enjoying as you did this huge internal work that you have accomplished in the program?
What did I start enjoying? I think hands down, it was recognizing how wonderful my kids are, and how much I can be a part of their lives, and I can be present in their lives. That was huge, because
Mm-hmm.
before it was just all in reaction mode, and now I'm partaking, and I'm not taking things personally. And I guess with my self-regard, it's more just like, let's enjoy us together. And that togetherness has really come in full circle. It's nice because as much as I give, I'm definitely getting back tons.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And yeah, and I like how you describe this balance between increasing your self-regard, right? And at the same time finding this balance between giving and receiving as well,
Mhm.
which is really so important. And we talk a lot about the tendency to overgive in the program, right? And how we can actually switch this with ease without the need to constantly struggle, and to really allow that space and ease into our lives. So could you share what is happening currently in your coaching practice, how that has changed? I remember when we just started, you said, and I called you a coach, right? I remember. And you were saying, well, I'm not a coach yet, I'm not coaching too much. And I said, well, you already graduated, so now you are a coach. So how has that changed, and what has happened since then?
Um, I'm working with my clients, and it's it's going really well. I'm
Yes.
enjoying it, and I'm learning. it's a learning process, right? And it's an experience, just like when I started cooking, you know, I didn't know what I was doing and I had to figure it out. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. And I'm really enjoying it, and I'm taking it every day for what it is. I'm actually working on a course right now of helping people with MS, um, to help change their perceptions of perhaps a negative way of looking at things, or a less positive way of looking at things into a more positive way. Um, I'm still working on it right now, and that's hopefully going to be done in January. So I'll be interested. I'll be excited to start that in the new year. So that'll be good.
Yes, I can't wait to see that you're launching that, and I just think it's so beautiful how this course will be based on your personal journey and also your professional training as a coach. And yeah, so in a way, it's kind of becoming the chef, not only uh, in preparing the food, but also like the chef of your life in a way, right? So, and it's really really beautiful.
I'm enjoying my journey. Every day there's always something around the corner that I get to discover new. And
yes. Well, what helped you to make this? And it can be very just, I think the first steps in starting coaching, getting new clients, and actually even connecting with that identity, you know, I'm a coach now, right? It can be challenging. So what helped you in getting started and actually bringing your vision of becoming a coach to reality and starting to work with real people and clients?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess my discoveries, no, I just know that I always went back to comfortably numb, and it was very difficult for me to make the transition to stay. And I knew being a coach how to make those transition happen, because I was telling other people how to do it, or I was coaching other people how to see it for themselves, because that's what a coach does, is they show other people how to heal their own selves. And I knew being a coach, I could get that. And it was so wonderful, because sometimes a coach can see things that you can't see. You know, because I know there were several times, maybe not several times, but there was a few times that I went to you and said, you know, I don't know how to do this. I don't even know what I'm doing. And you were like, this is all part of the journey, Christina. It's okay. You don't have to know everything, but I can help. And you did. So thank you. That was just really, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful to be a part of this course. And I'm so fortunate that I'm able to see that.
And your clients are very fortunate to have you. I am so excited for them and for your upcoming course as well. Do you know where, could you maybe share how can people find you, and what should be we're looking for? Will you be launching on Facebook? What is the best way to find out the details about the course itself?
Right now, anybody can reach me at my email address, which is my full name, all in lowercase, Christina Sayer 98 at gmail.com.
Okay.
So I'm always reachable there. I don't believe that the course is going to be up and running yet until the new year, but as soon as I have more details, I'll definitely inform everyone, and I'll post it on Facebook.
Okay. Wonderful. Super excited to see that. I think that what a better gift we can have in the beginning of the new year, and it is so important and to bring it into the world. And it's I know it can be a really interesting and challenging journey at the same time. So I wish you all the best with launching and with turning this idea into reality. I know you're almost there, so it's just like last effort. Okay. Anything else that you feel like sharing? How would you like us to end this interview today?
I don't know. I just want to work with people that want to empower themselves, that they know that there's more for them out there. And there's work sometimes that needs to be done, but it doesn't have to be hard work. It can just be as easy as just being aware. And I'm anxious to work with anyone that wants to empower themselves and be aware.
Yeah. Okay, so for people who are maybe a little bit hesitant about coaching or joining a program, or just, considering that there would be someone who will support them in their journey and help them. So what would be your maybe one or a couple of advices that you could give? So how to make that decision, how to choose wisely, what program to join, what coach to choose?
I think that your coach should want what's best for you, but also should help you find what's best for you, so that it's someone that can just guide you in the right direction. And sometimes you wouldn't go to only a health coach if you wanted help in money, but I think all coaches can help you. And I think that if they're well-trained coaches, they know how to do it. And they know how to have you know how to help yourself.
Yes, beautifully said. I think these two components are at the core of this work. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about your course and wish you all the best with launch. And for those who are celebrating Thanksgiving in the United States, we're now a week before Thanksgiving. So I wish you happy holidays and also happy holiday season, and may you be safe, may you be happy, and may you enjoy every moment, and may you spend this moment with ease and joy. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk
Thank
soon
you.
again. Thank you, Christina. Bye-bye.
Bye.